Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this special series of interviews that we're having with our speakers. The Chiropractic Thought Leader Seminar, first ever Chiropractic Thought Leader Seminar, is going to be held in Houston, Texas, February 26th and 27th. You don't want to miss it. And the special guest I have today is Dr. Fred DiDomenico, very good friend and just a powerful communicator. Dr. Fred, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Great to be here with you guys. Excited about this event. It's truly going to be a massive transformation from the inside out.
Awesome. I appreciate that. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait. And my goal, my aim for these power-packed interviews is to, number one, share some things, motivate some people, fire up some chiropractors, and give them some things they can implement right away, but also to show them why it's so important that they're there at the Chiro Thought Leaders Seminar, and then allow them to be able to get those tickets before they're sold out. So you're speaking in February on this is the topic, the title: transform from an adjuster to a healer and become a powerful magnet to attract people. And I love that title, but tell us a little bit about that and what do you mean by that?
Well, to try and put this in 10 words or less and keep it short, we're all spiritual beings as chiropractors. We know that's our sole purpose, right? So we're a spirit walking through a physical body. We know we came in here to help people transform. The mechanics of the adjustment is powerful, and BJ talks about that adjustment with the extra something. Well, as spiritual beings, we can channel universal energy. You can become a healer. And, the problem is, if you're stuck in your practice, what you're doing is you're thinking you have a product or service that creates an experience. But when you create an experience, the product or service is obvious. Chiropractic is a product or service. What you have to create when your mindset and your consciousness is an emotional healing experience. When you do that, becoming a lifetime patient is easy. So what your team has to do now, Chris sees 2,600, 3,000 people, right? Because he creates a healing experience. His team protects his consciousness. Now, to become a healer, you have to create a consciousness where your state is at total peace. Tony Robbins talks about influence is a transference of emotion. How you feel about your product and how you feel when you deliver an adjustment is going to determine how they feel and what they experience. So if you want to create healing, if you really believe that the subluxation causes disease and you're adjusting subluxations to correct them, to allow the body to reach its maximum optimal health and potential, then you have to be in a certain state. Yeah. When you're touching someone from one spiritual being to another, creating physical contact, it's an exchange of energy. And that exchange of energy happens way before you touch them. It happens when you're exchanging energy with a person. And so great healers, I always say we teach chiropractic and sometimes we use words. You should be in a consciousness state and awareness that your beingness begins the healing process before you open your mouth and before you touch them. So when you look at, if we get into some higher principles here real quick, if you look at a state of conscious, David Hawkins, who created a map of consciousness, he checked vibration. And when you vibrate at the level of joy, then you create transfiguration in the physical world. Transfiguration is changing physical matter. When you operate at the level of peace, that's the level of 640, you can actually create illumination. So when you illuminate, you begin the healing process. Well, when you look at great spiritual leaders, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, they were all highly spiritual people. How did they change humanity? Because their level of vibration was so high that they attracted millions of people. So David Hawkins talks about in his book, when you vibrate the energy of love, bliss, infinite peace, then you counteract the energy of 10 million people. So if we're going to take chiropractic around the globe and really change healthcare, then your consciousness can affect 10 million people. Well, now you become a magnet to people. So you should never walk out on your adjusting room floor without preparing your spirit first. You would never go work out without warming up, right? You would never Why would you touch a person when you're in anxiety? You would, when Jesus came down from the mountain, he would pray and he meditate before he went to heal, and it says multitudes waited. So as he was preparing his state, hundreds and hundreds of people were gathering. Because of that consciousness, they were drawn to the base of that mountain. By the time he came down, he was ready to lay hands on people. But do you think he would just get up and roll out of bed and touch a blind person, or would he prepare his spirit first?
Right. Prepare.
Yeah, because you're creating a healing experience. Now, when you're in that consciousness, did he have to work hard to rub mud on a blind person's eyes and have his eyesight restored? Did he have to work hard when he said, take up your mat, and the paralytic gets up from the pool? He didn't. There wasn't hard work. Because did he work hard to change the water into wine? No, there was transfiguration of physical matter because of his consciousness and vibration.
Right.
Now, there's a great one-liner. When you're ready to become a healer, people will show up to be healed. So if you want to have a big practice, how do you go from that consciousness where he's going from person to person pushing on spines versus your consciousness begins an energy exchange that allows physical matter to change? Now that healing adjustment, now watch diseases heal. People say, well, BJ healed a cancer in one adjustment. The world was different. It wasn't as toxic. Hey, man, are people not getting healed today? Does that mean, do you have more faith in a toxic world than you do in the innate that moves through you? Can we still create that healing? Or is it BJ had an awareness and a consciousness that it didn't matter about the toxicity of the world? I mean, I get it. I get it. All you, functional medical people and I get it, man. I get it. I have a stellar nutritional diet. I get it.
Yeah.
But can the power of God moving through you make a difference? Are there people in this toxic world that are getting healed with a prayer? Are there people still healing of cancer with prayer in this toxic world? You are a chiropractor. What's your responsibility? If we don't take responsibility for our consciousness, then how can we draw in humanity?
Right. I had an actual experience that I wanted to share with you. Oh, excuse me. There we go. And I was thinking about that chart that you share at your seminars where, it's gratitude, it's awareness, all of these things that the higher you vibrate on those levels. So I was traveling back, it was lunchtime, and I was going back to work, and how you get just in that daily grind of doing the same thing every day, and I let my energy fall. And I was kind of almost not even there. It was just going through the motions when all of a sudden I'm stopped by fire trucks, and there was a massive car accident, and this helicopter, a life flight helicopter, lands right beside, we're stuck in traffic. It lands right beside my car, and they take this guy that they had pulled out of a wreck on a stretcher and put him on the life flight. And all these things started going through my mind. And I started thinking how grateful I am that I am here, that I get to go back to work this afternoon, that person would have loved to go back to his job for the second half of the day, to go home to his kids tonight. And my energy went from that of just so low I could have taken a nap right then to so high that I had the best afternoon I've ever had. I touched, people's spines and I adjusted them. I know I had better results that day because I was just vibrating at a higher level. And then I had a workshop on that. We actually did a workshop a couple of weeks ago called Pure Energy. My office is Pure Life. And so we called it Pure Energy. And everybody's looking for energy in those energy drinks, right? And Monster and 5-hour energy and all this stuff. And I told them, when I had that experience, I didn't drink anything. I didn't take anything. I didn't eat anything. It was solely on my thought waves. What I was thinking actually changed my energy levels and made just an average day a great day. So just in that, I really appreciate what you're saying there.
Yeah, so that's really what it is. What I want to go through really are spiritual principles,
right?
The mindset. When you look at how can you grow your practice 50% in the first quarter of next year, how does some people grow 100, 200 visits? We just had a seminar in Chicago, and the first topic was what's the mindset of people that actually change the world? So I looked up what are world changers and what were their one-liners, and we went through a number of systems and mindset. And, we came back, and since then we have had so many people that have grown 50 to 120 visits a week in 3 weeks. How do you, 100 visits a week in 3 weeks, so,
Wow.
so it's a mindset, and then it's systems that match the mindset. So what you're going to get at this Chiro Thought Leaders, at least, in every speaker, because you have world-class speakers, you're going to get mindset shifts. And what I'm going to go through are how to really live from the reference point of your heart rather than your mind. You are not your mind. When you identify with your mind, you identify in pain and problems and judgment. When you identify and you realize that you are your spirit, when you learn to listen to your heart and you can operate in that zone, then all of a sudden you become a magnet to people. So what are those principles that move you from that 18-inch journey they talk about in the Course in Miracles, right? So longest journey you'll ever take in your life, 18 inches from your mind to your heart. And when you can do that, everything around you changes, people become healed, your practice goes through the roof. Now you need the systems to handle the flow.
Awesome. Well, I know that anybody watching this video right now has got to be motivated and anticipating the training that you're going to give at the Chiro Thought Leader Seminar. Again, that's February 26th and 27th, 2016. We'd love to see you there. We want to invite you out, and that's why we placed a button underneath this video. You can scroll down and just hit that button. You'll be directed and guided into more information on the seminar and how you can get tickets for that. And I just want to encourage you, those of you out there who are going to get tickets, to go ahead and get them now because we're anticipating sellout for this seminar. And so lock in your spots, lock in your hotel rooms. We do have a special hotel rate for everybody when they get those. And Dr. Fred, I just want to thank you again. You're always so awesome about giving up your time and sharing great things with us. So any closing remarks for everybody?
I would just say this, this isn't going to be I don't even know what to call it. It's not even a seminar. What it's going to be is a transformational experience. We always talk about inspiration comes and goes. We're not here to create inspiration. Inspiration is way overrated. We're here to create transformation. Transformation is that 18-inch journey. So when you're done in that weekend, you will be a different person. Growth, inspiration, energy that becomes a natural resource that's already within you. That's what we're going to tap into, is that resource that already exists inside you that can help you go back to your practice, see yourself, your practice, your life differently, and move from a vision of community into a vision and purpose and systems into humanity.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. Go get your tickets. And thank you, Dr. Fred. Thank you, everybody, for watching the video. And we'll see you on the next one.
Right on. Peace. Thank you.